Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at pretty much a level 50 shiny Shadow Galarian Weezing. Now, the reason why I didn't max it out to 50 is because I do want to get it to Best Buddy and have the badge on there and actually equip it. So I'm going to leave it with one less power up so we can actually have it right on the dot. But with that said here, let's have a little fun. This was an extremely expensive investment, so if you can hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. Now, should you invest in a Shadow Galarian Weezing, you're essentially going to have to max it out, and you're going to be spending quite a bit of Stardust as well as candy. The candies for me were completely abundant, so I have nothing to worry about when it comes to that. Stardust though, I don't have to worry about that either, but is it worth your investment? And I'm going to have to say, if you're into battling, even though Go Battle League is in a complete garbage state, as it has been for a long time, people cheating, as a matter of fact, we're going to look at somebody who's in question in potentially cheating in this video here. Is it still worth investing in? I mean, sure. I mean, if you like to play in the Ultra League, yeah, no problem. If you're looking to make one for the Great League, well, then you really don't have to think about investing too much Stardust, except for that secondary move. So you don't really have to think about it too much there. But when it comes down to the Ultra League here, you're going to go ahead and take a look at the results here. I don't feel like I wasted my Stardust or anything, because I can also have fun dropping this in the gym too, as it is going to be a pretty interesting type. If I put Overheat on there instead of Play Rough, it will throw a lot of people off, so there is that option as well. With Fairy Wind doing more damage, plus you're getting that shadow damage, and you're going to be getting stabbed, same type attack bonus, you're going to be doing quite a bit with your Fairy Wind, especially if they're going to be weak to Fairy, so that is actually an extra bonus too. So we're going to be pairing it up with Feraligatr as well as Skeledirge. We're going to actually be replacing, I think it might be the Feraligatr with Giratina in a little while towards the end here. But yes, I was getting hard countered and all that good stuff. I'm not going to rant about it because, you know, it's the same old song and dance. We're just going to take a look at these battles and see what we have. Let's start that commentary here. So up against a Giratina, this is going to be a great matchup. So of course, we're going to be going with Fairy Wind, and we do have Brutal Swing as well. You're going to be farming that up pretty fast. Now, I think, hear me out. Hear me out. I think they nerfed Brutal Swing because of the upcoming Galarian Shadow Weezing that we do have right now. It would have been doing so much damage, plus you're going to be able to spam it so fast. I think that this thing is probably solely responsible for that particular nerf. I think. Just a little bit of a theory here. And then, of course, we're going to be going with Play Rough. You could go with Overheat or the other Poison move, which really doesn't do too much. It's one of the weakest Poison moves that you do have, although you will be getting stabbed. It's really up to you. I don't really recommend you go with that, honestly. So we're going to have a double KO there with that super effective quick move. We do have the Gramble Shadow in the back here, which takes forever to get to those charge moves, and we're going to be able to outpace it to the Disarming Voice to take the win. Otherwise, they would have definitely been able to get me there. All right, so we're going to take a look at the cheater in question here. I said maybe. Take a look at this name here. Tell me if you've encountered this situation as well with this particular trainer, because a lot of times when I do call out cheating, what they'll do is take to social media and say, I wasn't cheating, it was just lag. And that's the problem that we have. It was just lag. It is just lag. You know, that kind of thing where people are like, say something a little bit out of pocket or out of line, beyond I'm just joking kind of scope. But then they say, I'm just joking when things are seemingly a little bit too awkward, or it's like, what did you just say? I'm just joking, you know what I mean? I was just lag. Shut the actual F up. I'm so sick of this crap. So here you go. I was in a good position, and then all of a sudden, right after they threw their charge move, it freezes because they're probably using that cheat freeze lag where they minimize their screen, slow it down, and make you lag out so you lose. Now, could this be solely an error in Go Battle League? For sure. So we can't say 100%, but honestly, you know, we're in zombie apocalypse mode. If we see anything moving in the bushes, we're just gonna shoot, okay? We're not gonna wait. All right, anyways, next game, what do we have here? A Clefable. So we do need to look out for Meteor Mash. Unfortunately, letting that go, and it is a Meteor Mash, and it's doing a lot of damage because we are gonna be part Fairy. We're also part Steel, so kind of a unique typing for the Galarian Weezing here. I'm gonna be straight up with you. When I first saw this design, I couldn't stand it. There's just something about top hats that I just don't like. I mean, they're cool and all. I mean, you know, okay, don't get me wrong, steampunk kind of guys and gals out there. I have nothing against it. It's just the design for Galarian Weezing. But this one here, I like it. I like it. It looks like it's stoned. Looks like a pair of bongs. And it's shadow, so we're good to go. The shiny looks pretty alright too. Anyways, Skeletor's always a solid pick for sure when it comes down to the Great League, to the Ultra League, and I mean, hell, maybe even the Master League once in a while, okay? It does not even need Blast Burn, that is for sure, but it is going to make it pretty interesting. The current moveset is fantastic. Bringing in the Galarian Weezing, loaded up on energy here, and they're bringing in their Steelix, so I swap into the Galarian Weezing, taking the kind of brute force. There's maybe trying to get to the charge move, but we do have all this energy build up. We'll go ahead and take them out, build up to the Dazzling Gleam here, or Play Rough. And then since we do resist their quick move, we're going to be able to get to another one while holding on to that last shield right up until the very last second, quite literally 1 HP in a dream. And we're going to take the win with the Shadow Galarian Weezing here. So again, to emphasize on this, is it worth your investment? If you're looking for something new and fun to use, for sure. Although you will probably get shut down by the Go Battle League algorithm, depending upon how the game does treat your, your profile. Personally, for me, it really gave me very few opportunities to really have a good time with this thing here, despite what I put on my team. I'm going to tell you something straight up here. When I first started using this, I excluded all the battles. So if you battled me and you're, well, how come I didn't? Because you countered me, hard countered, quite literally all my team. Right when I put Galarian Weezing on, I was seeing nothing but double Poison Dark. It was unfreaking believable with the Skeletor's in the back. Absolutely algorithm to the max, folks. So we have the algorithm to deal with, as well as cheating and all kinds of cheaters. If you think it's just a freezing cheat going on, you better go and do a little, well, I would say do a little homework, but the majority of the people online with some sort of an opinion when it comes to some, Go Battle League cheating or algorithm, they're usually brain dead Reddit dumbasses that sit on their ass all day, never touch grass. So I really wouldn't read around too much. You're just gonna have to hear it straight from people who actually understand what's going on here. But anyways, let's move away from that. I just want to emphasize that I don't want you to take Go Battle League too seriously, or if there's other people taking it really serious and acting like it's some sort of crazy esport. It's not. It's just another online mobile pocket garbage game when it comes to Go Battle League. I just find it fun because it's kind of part of my job. All right, going for another disarming voice to take the win. That was a very close one there, building up all that energy, looking good. Folks, if you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And now it looks like we're going in here with the Giratina. They're going to be swapping into their own. Funny how I never encountered a Giratina, really. Well, I encountered one, but the second I put my own Giratina on the team, then all of a sudden they just started popping up all out of nowhere. You may notice that same thing happening to you, where you put on a particular Pokemon, then all of a sudden it's on your opponent's team, all of a sudden randomly. So taking them out there with one shot, super effective. Gonna go ahead and go for the brutal swing here, and they did not want to get hit by that fairy charge move again, so they're definitely shielding it up, not knowing if I had it or not, or maybe they just wanted to shield at the brutal swing, who knows. So we got a shield out of them, bringing in Giratina, loaded up on energy here. We're gonna go ahead and just start throwing the Dragon Claw. I am going with Dragon Breath again, because anytime I do encounter a dark type, it is just gonna be that much better for me to handle that situation. While I do have two Pokemon that can handle a fairy, both the poison as well as the fire on the team, so we don't have to worry about covering that. All right, so we're up against a Glissopod here, spamming the hell out of me. Do believe I'm going to shield this up here. Not very effective X-Scissor, but it still would have been pretty much enough to take us out. So we're going to go ahead and go for that. Let's see if we can pull this off, and we do, just barely with like 4 HP, bringing in their Swampert to farm us up just a little bit, which isn't too great. We're going to call this Hydro Cannon, and we do. Absolutely amazing. And I think I actually call another one here. And holding onto that shield, absolutely looking good. And we're going to go ahead and at this point just farm them down. And we'll be able to take the win here. This is their last Pokemon, and we're looking good. All right. Keeping it moving here. Leading with Giratina, I do believe the remainder of it. Although we may put the Galarian Weezing up front just for a little bit to see what happens. So again, another Giratina, like I described. Every time you put a Pokemon on your team, you're going to start seeing it. Well, at least for my extremely rigged account here. Gonna go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw. They're shielding it up. Oh, right. Sounds good to me, of course. And I do believe we're gonna let everything go here and just kind of wither them down, so they have pretty much no health. Sure, they can win this swap, but we are going to be up on the shield, so that is pretty good for us here. And what we're going to do is just simply farm them down with the Galarian Weezings Fairy Wind. And you can see all of the frame skipping going on, all the little bit of putters and lag here, and it did absolutely have a massive impact on my gameplay. So again, just Go Battle League is a complete joke. Anybody who takes it serious, anyways, I keep going down that road, so you understand. So we have a Grample out here hitting me with that that charm, doing so much damn damage. At least it's not Shadow. Building up to 2 Hydro Cannons here. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Can we get to... yes, and taking them out. Fantastic. They do have that Gyarados in the back there. We're still holding on to 2 shields. This is a wrap, but they still want to throw a charge move. Okay, sounds good to me. Gonna go ahead and use that shield and then go for the Brutal Swing to take the win with our shiny Shadow Galarian Weezing. Let's go. Folks, you are limited on how much time you can do this. For the current Zacian event that we do have is when you're going to be able to evolve the regular Coughings or Shadow Coughings into Galarian Weezing. So make sure you do take advantage of that. Even if you're not into Go Battle League or anything like that, it's probably going to be best just to have one. Maybe, I mean the Shadow form. I mean, you probably have a Galarian Weezing already. So what's the point? Well, we'll evolve one. It's for the Shadow, just to have it on your team. Or maybe you had a shiny one. Now you can make your shiny. Maybe shiny Shadow. You definitely want to evolve it, all right? And if it does get a community day and we get a split thing for Kanto Weezing and Galarian Weezing, well, guess what? I'll just use an Elite Charge TM, okay? So bringing in that old Crobat here, good old classic. I remember when they came out with the design, I actually really enjoyed that one. I was thinking, okay, now that's cool. Now that's a really good one. Electivire, I was happy that they all got evolutions. That was one of the best generations. You gotta be kidding me. And then Magmortar 2 was a little bit odd to me, but still happy it received an evolution. But what made me extremely excited was going to be the Rhyperior. Man, that was a killer generation with all kinds of cool evolutions for Pokemon. They really just hit it out of the park there. Anyways, going to bring in the Galarian Weezing here up against the Skeledirge. Going to be able to spam that Brutal Swing and make sure we hold on to our health here by shielding that up. And we're going to be getting their last shield. Going for the Brutal Swing, which is going to be enough. Galarian Weezing. Let's go, baby. All right, so let's think about this. So you have Fairy Wind, which is farming up extremely fast, gaining energy really quick. And then you have the damn charge moves that are doing a pretty good amount of damage. If they didn't nerf Brutal Swing, my gosh, I definitely, I'm going to have to lean on, that's why they nerfed it in preparations for this here. Anyways, we are going up against another Giratina here. I forgot to start recording. I paused it for a minute, so I started it right as it started. So sorry to the trainer for not showing your name here or whatever. Bringing in the Galarian Weezing to farm them down. The way it attacks is just kind of hilarious, how it spins around like that. Just a silly old Pokemon. And we do have a Cresselia. Now, if this doesn't have Future Sight, we're going to be looking absolutely fantastic because there's really nothing that can hit us with. Grass is resisted, and then Play Rough is also resisted because of the poison, so we'll be looking good there. Fairy's really not doing too much for us here, unless you want to just say we're getting stabbed from the Fairy Charge move, I suppose. All right, so letting that go, they are going to be swapping into their Cobalion to catch a not very effective and not even getting stabbed. Brutal Swing, and it's not doing too much damage. That was a good catch, I'm going to have to say. And we're going to go ahead and, of course, bring in the Feraligatr and start shielding up here. I wasn't too sure how I was going to win this, so let's just see how this does play out. I remember, but I was just kind of on edge. I didn't remember if the Cresselia had energy still. I was just a little bit out of it, so let's see what happens here. Looking like they're swapping, farming up a little bit more as they have no more shields. And that's their last shield there. Great. And then we catch. That's it. That was it. Since we caught this, we're going to be able to pull it off here because we had no more shields. That would have been enough to take us out, and they're backing out because they know that is a wrap. So we were able to do pretty good for this set here, getting a 4-1. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My other sets were going to be a 2-3 because there's really nothing you can do when you're just getting combated so hard by the hard counters, as well as right when you're about to hit that finishing blow, the game starts lagging because the person's cheating. I'm not going to include every single person that was making it freeze at the end of the game because, again, it comes back to that retarded ass thing. Oh, it's just joking. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's just lag. It was just the game lagging. Right when I'm about to take the win, it just freezes. Huh? Right? Okay. So we'll exclude those so I don't go on too big of a rant here. And we don't have too many people on social media saying, oh, well, Pokemon King Center's a cheater. Although, it's always fun to rile those dummies up because, well, they're exposing their own selves there. Alrighty, so we're up against the Steelix here. Gonna go ahead and farm them down. And I said I wasn't going to rant, but I'm doing quite a bit of it, huh? It's just hard to not when you're playing this garbage. It's just hard to not. Alrighty, so we have a Clefable out here. We do need to look out for Moonblast. That will be pretty much one-shotting us, so we need to look out. We have 2 shields left, so we will shield this up. And it is a Swift. Oh boy, hitting me with the Swift. Oh no. Alright, so we're going to go for another Hydro Cannon. At this point, since they double shield, we're going to go ahead and do the same here as well. Hitting me with a Moonblast, I think we might be able to farm them down. Unfortunately not, but this is going to be a Swift. They do not have enough energy for that Moonblast again. And they do have a Swampert in the back. Folks, can I make this happen here? Hitting that Hydro Cannon. Oh, it's going to be a Gastrodon. Alright, so we're building up to the Brutal Swing only. Got a little nervous here, but it looks like they were trying to build up to the Earth Power, and we're able to spam the Brutal Swing so much that they're not able to get to the Earth Power, and we take the win with the Galarian Weezing. Let's go. Next game, what are we going to be seeing here? A Sneasler. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So Shadow Claw is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Sneasler is kind of a squishy Pokemon, you know, to be honest. I really like the design, probably one of the top tiers for my personal picks. Aerial Ace, no problem. We don't have to worry about that. More than likely, their other charge move is going to be close combat. Letting that Aerial Ace go, and we're going to go ahead and farm them down, holding on to this energy for whatever they do bring in. We're just going to throw it immediately. Looks like a Licky. Going for that Dragon Claw. They're going to be able to get a decent amount of farm here, which is not particularly great. Bringing in for Alligator, as they do resist the Shadow Claw, this is not the best position, but I wanted it to kind of absorb the damage a little bit more than the Galarian Weezing. We're going to go ahead and hold on to that. Hitting the Hydro Cannon, they are letting it go. We can take another Body Slam here, but we're going to shield it up just in case it was Shadow Ball, and they are going to be swapping into their Machamp. Oh my goodness. So guess what? Let's see what happens here. Of course they have a Stone Edge, which is going to be doing extreme amounts of damage to me, and they're going to be getting to the Cross Chop, which is not going to, I don't think KO, but it'll be close enough for them to probably farm me down, and I don't want this thing to go down yet because otherwise we're not going to be looking too good here. Massive resistance with the quick move on it, as we are going to be Poison and Fairy. They're going to be retreating with about 1 HP, bringing in their Licky, going for the Brutal Swing, which is not enough. They shield it up. We swap into the Feraligatr, going for the Hydro Cannon, which will be enough to take them out, and we will be able to Shadow Claw them down, but they back out. Oh, and we take that win. Let's go. Moving it on to the next game. What are we going to see with that Giratina? Oh, what did I tell you? Another Giratina with ours, of course. All right, so they do have Shadow Claw. They will be able to spam that Dragon Claw. Of course they will. That's all right. We're going to play that same song and dance. We're not going to shield up anything. If they hit me with Shadow Force, that sucks, but I highly doubt that's what it's going to be. Yeah, just a Dragon Claw there, hitting me with a back-to-back. And we will let this go and do what we did last time. They will survive barely here, or not, unless they want to shield it up. We could win this, or they can shield it up. What's it going to be? They shield it up using their first shield and farming me down. Sounds good. Bringing in the Weezing here, and of course we are going to be farming them down and holding onto our shield. Ancient Power, that's no problem. Down they go, and we have a good amount of energy built up already. Bringing in a Cresselia. Time to spam that Brutal Swing. Let's get it. So I was kind of measuring the damage between Brutal Swing and the Fairy Charge move. It's best to just keep spamming Brutal Swing. Okay, that's your best shot. I swap into Feraligatr, which was a horrible move, but luckily for me, they swap into the Greninja. Since this thing is so squishy, I really can't take a hit anyway, so Hydro Cannon is still doing quite a bit, as we're going to be doing Shadow plus Stab damage. Letting that first charge move go, going for another Hydro Cannon here. With the Galarian Weezing, I don't know if we can farm them down quite yet with Fairy Wind. It's a little close, but we are going to call this, and very good. Going to go ahead and swap here, bringing in their Cresselia, and things are getting a little bit interesting. So hitting me with a Future Sight, going for the big damage. So they have Moonblast and Future Sight. We don't have to worry about a damn thing. Going for that Brutal Swing. Looks like we're going to be able to farm them down here. All right. And take that Greninja out with a Brutal Swing. Not very effective. And there is your Galarian Weezing. Absolutely worth the investment. 500,000 Stardust plus, but still good. Thank you for watching and take care.